Welcome in on this slouchy Sunday, playoff slouchy Sunday. So it wasn't too slouchy. Had two games on the queue. We had the Knicks against the Heat, and we had the Warriors against the Kings. Well, the Warriors already closed them out. I guess the experience worked over the youth. I actually wanted Sacramento to pull that game out, but you got to show much respect to the Warriors and Curry. What a day he done had. But we're going to get into the two games. The Heat and Knicks. Knicks came out flying in that first half, at least that first quarter, full of energy, like they wanted to take the Heat out. Like they was just sitting there waiting. Julius Randle didn't play in that game. Even Jimmy Butler got a little banged up. But this series is going to be something to watch. It's going to be physical. They're going way back now, the Heat and Knicks. Low scoring. You barely, I think, cracked the hundreds. But if you notice the rivalry back in the day, those games were in the 80s, the 90s. Kind of looked like that in this one. Very physical, up and down, slow pace, then it picks up. It was a hard grind down there at the end. And hopefully Jimmy Butler is okay. We got to have him back ready to go. But, yeah, Knicks, they had a good showing. We had to get our grasp on them because at first it was like we was trying to fill them out. They was going so fast and they were so confident coming in that game, knowing it's a big rivalry. They try to get the upper hand on us and try to get that game won. But the pedigree of the Heat came through like always. They sat on the ropes a little bit, felt them out. And then second half, they started, bogging them down a little bit, getting in their sets. Defense started playing more close attention. Their rotations were good. I seen on both halves of the floor, both teams were playing good defense. I mean, the scouting report was pretty good in that one game. So just think about this. This game is going to extend, possibly go 6, possibly go 7. But if game 1 was like this physical, this more attention to detail, it's going to be a series. It might have some wounded Warriors coming out of this one. But yes, I like our chances, but this series is going to be something else. This is an old school rivalry, and they batting and they punching for it. Now, the Golden State Warriors. The way they started out, you was thinking, man, the Kings look ready. They did come out. They was fired up there at home. Crowd was all into it. And for a minute, it started looking like these Kings might get this game. Everybody's off. The only person that was on, really, as you see, Steph Curry, with a 50-piece today. Yeah, Steph Curry with a 50-piece. I mean, he came out and he wasn't going to let his team lose. I mean, Klay Thompson was off. And pretty much everybody else was off. Wiggins, he couldn't really get it going. Steph had to be the catalyst for this game. He willed them to a victory. Everybody else just chip in and follow, but they still was off from the field. But when you got your superstar out there putting them up, and that's what I'm talking about by putting them up, leaving your guns empty. Yes, 30-plus attempts by Steph Curry. Whether he was off or he was on, he was going to make sure he's going to put them up there today. And that's exactly what he did, and he ended up with a historic afternoon, putting up that many points, layups. He just did it all over the floor. He wasn't going to allow his team to lose. And just big ups to the Warriors and the Kings. Kings don't have nothing to be ashamed about. They're a young team and coming. De'Aaron Fox showed up big time. He's going to be in the league for a long time. We're going to be watching him. So he has, no worries. He will be back. He don't have to lose sleep tonight. Unfortunately, when you're young and battling in this league, you got to take your lumps. That's all it is, too. You got to take your lumps. Golden State is a veteran squad. They've been there numerous of times. This was Game 7. They have all the experience coming into this game. So it's no shock to anybody that the Warriors pulled this game out. It'll just been good to see the Sacramento Kings pull it out. But better team won. And I think the better team was the Golden State Warriors in the end, because if you win a ball game like that with all your guns not shooting and one guy can rally you and pull out this big one, superstar Steph Curry, that just lets you know they're a better team. because one man pretty much won that game for him. And the Young Bucks couldn't do nothing to stop it. Steph Curry is well conditioned, man. I tell you, the way he runs around that floor, baseline to the top, running off of rub-offs and screens, and he just keeps going and going and going. I mean, even if he's not hitting shots, just unbelievable endurance throughout a 48-minute game to keep doing what he does on the floor. But yeah, we had some good, exciting ball play on this slouchy Sunday. Quick hitters. Who was going for Sacramento out there? I'd like to know. Because I know everybody wasn't going for the Warriors. I know I'm not sitting here alone. Now, I respect the Warriors. I like, certain players on their team. But I like the underdog young guns to pull this one out today. It just didn't happen. But it's okay. Best team won. Now you're going to get the matchup with the Lakers. They're used to dueling anyway. We're going to see how those old guys fare out. In that series, should I put my prediction out there? I'm going to say, because neither one of them are my team. But if I had to pick between the two, I would want the Lakers to pull that one out. Just because LeBron, he's 20th season, he's on his way out the door. Be nice to send him off with another championship if that was to happen. Golden State, I think they'll be around a little longer, like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. They'll be around longer than LeBron James. So even though they don't get it this year, they still have a few more years to go out there and grab. But LeBron, his championships might be done already, but if he was to get one, it'd probably be now, because he's not a catalyst of his team that he can just, lead his team to victory anymore. He's got to have people around him, another dogs out there that go out there and run around and play and rebound and can pass and can shoot. He just got to have a lot of support around him for him to win a championship now, because he's out there just facilitating. When things get gritty and ugly, yeah, he'll be able to make a play down the stretch, but throughout the course of a series, even a regular season that you're starting to see now that he's starting to get banged up a little bit, it's just not going to be like that anymore for LeBron. I know he's trying to wait it out a little bit, see if he can match up with his son when he gets into the league. That'll be great, be wonderful. But for him competing for championships, I think that could be over. So, but I'm rooting for him this year. This year, I'm rooting for him against the Golden State Warriors. I ain't going to say I'm rooting for him this year because my Miami Heat is still in it, obviously. But, yeah, if he can pull another one out and ride into the sunset, which we know he gets a championship, he's not going to ride into the sunset. He's going to try to come back for another year or possibly two. Knowing how stubborn he is, I would give him 2 to 3 years left in this league. 2 to 3 more years. And I'm going to count, I'm not going to count this year, actually. So after this year, I give him 2 to 3 more years in the league, being his 20th season. So we're going to get into the box score of both of these games, because there's a lot of iron unkinds. There's a lot of people that's going to get some stars. Some guys going to get Iron Man. I mean, this just was a Sunday. I mean, it was packed full of excitement, especially that Heat game. Because at first, I'm watching the game, and I'm just like, oh, man, they're going to go ahead and sneak this game one on us. It's like we battered and bruised. They coming out of the gates. They trying to put us away. We're just like an old veteran dog just laying down in the grass. Don't let the kids run around and play and just run around, lose all their energy. Then they're going to sneak up and go get them, because that's exactly what it looked like in this game one of the semis for the Miami Heat. Because the New York Knicks came out with a lot of energy, a lot of swag. We had to slowly take that away. They was highly confident coming into that ball game. And Jimmy buckets. Like I said, I hope that ankle is not too flared up on him. Get some ice on that thing. Knowing Jimmy, he'll be ready to go. I just don't want him laboring. Hopefully, we don't know how bad it is. Missed the press conference actually to hear him talking about it, but he's not gonna say too much about it anyway. But yeah, as long as he can move around on it and don't have to miss any games behind it, then be good to go. But he's a warrior. And you didn't get your 40 points or 50 points by him today. I keep wanting to say tonight. Usually these games happening at night, but early afternoon on this slouchy Sunday. But yeah, he gonna facilitate. He's gonna do what's needed to win the ball game. He don't want to go out there and score 40, 50 points every game. Pretty sure these teams not gonna allow him to do that. They're gonna load up on him, have somebody else beat him if they're smart. But we have enough people around him, veterans and young guys, that can get the job done. I'm gonna get into Kyle Lowry too. Oh, Wiley vet. Oh man, Kyle came up big. You won't see that on the stat sheet. What Kyle Lowry does not show up on the stat sheet. I'm glad he's a Miami Heat. Oh man, when he was here in Houston for the Rockets, he was nothing like this. He still was a nice, decent player, but he hasn't developed yet into the player he is now. And the Rockets let him go or whatever the case may be. End up going to Toronto. But and a hell of a career in Toronto. They might have his statue up there. He's going to be somewhere in the rafters. But Hall of Fame for sure for Kyle Lowry. Certain players used to watch just coming into the league early on, covering basketball. You looked at those guys and see how they played, and you was like, you never thought when their career was done or close to done that they would be actually, possibly, Hall of Famers. You'd have never looked at Kyle Lowry and say that guy was a Hall of Famer. Even early on with Jimmy Butler, you probably never said that he's a Hall of Famer. These guys, man, they paved their way and they just mold into something as the years go on. They body styles change, the way they play the game changes. The way they think, it just amazes you. But Hall of Fame career when he's done, for sure and in fact. No doubt about that. But yeah, I enjoyed the games, quick hitters. I hope I do have some Miami Heat fans out there. I don't know. Hopefully. Hope y'all ain't thinking the Knicks gonna take us down. Hope some underdogs is out there like I was that was thinking, get them Kings, get them. Didn't work out, but tip your hat to them Kings. And Mike Brown, Coach of the Year, well deserved by him. But let's get to these stat sheet box score. We'll start with the Heat and the Knicks. Miami. I think they got 4 guys in double figures. We might as well start with Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Buckets. 25 points. 11 rebounds by Jimmy. Shot 8 for 16 from the field. See, Jimmy was more facilitating. He was feeling his way today. Don't mean he wasn't effective, because he was very effective. Without his production, we couldn't have won this game. So it just shows you how he's just been conservative, facilitating, picking his spots, and he still ends up with 25 points. Just shows you how potent he can be. And then he got him 2 steals to go along with those 25 points and 11 rebounds. So Jimmy Butler, not only you did your job, but you're going to get you a star today. Next person that comes up in W figures is Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo, 16 points, 8 rebounds. He was 7 for 13 from the field. Bam's going to be big in this series. Now, Bam got by today with that production, but we're going to have to get more from him. I still don't understand why he can't average double digits in rebounding. That still bothers me with a guy like that. He's too active. He's too athletic to not be pulling down at least 10 rebounds a game. Me, I would want more, but at least 10 rebounds a game. He's got 8, but still, 16 and 8. And I know we want to look at Bam like he's just a defensive player. I understand. He came in the league. Everybody looking for his defense. Everybody's looking at him for his rebounding, his blocking shots and things. They don't look at him as a scorer. But Bam has shown flashes. I've seen what he can do scoring when, he's aggressive. I'm just not going to, whether he score or play defense or not, rebounding, he should at least have 10 or more rebounds. Okay, if you want to wipe the scoring off the board, that's fine, but double-digit rebounds has to be in the making for him. So with Bam Adebayo, I'm going to say you done your job. You get a round of applause. I'm not going to cut you short like that. I want more. I want more. But you were serviceable. I will say that. You were serviceable. So you can get your round of applause. But we have to do better going down deep into this series if we plan on winning it. Next person in double figures. 20 points, 5 assists. Talking about Gabe Vincent. What a game by him. And this is what I'm talking about. You got these heroes that just come out of anywhere with the Miami Heat. That's why Butler don't have to score 30 to 40 points every game. You got a guy like Gabe Vincent came out there shooting, and I'm telling you, he hit some key buckets. When the New York Knicks is trying to run away with this game, Gabe Vincent was right there to hit a 3. Even when we was real tired, had a 3-point lead, 1-point lead, he will come down and hit a big 3. So yeah, Gabe Vincent was huge in this game. He was 5 for 12 from the 3-point line, 6 for 16 from the field. Got him 5 assists, 20 points. He definitely gets a round of applause. Almost superstar status for a guy like him. I almost came real close to giving him a star with that kind of production. Then you come down to Kyle Lowry. Oh, man. Where would we be without Kyle? 18 points. 6 assists. Even got him 5 rebounds. 4 block shots for Kyle Lowry. We're talking about a point guard here. 4 block shots for Kyle Lowry. 3 for 6 from the 3-point line, 5 for 12 from the field. Now you look at his stat sheet, and it looks good. It looks good. But what was off the stat sheet was even more fantastic. You won't see that on the stat sheet, what he's done in that game. Defensive positioning, the stripping of the balls, getting the jump ball, hustling, getting the ball, throwing it off of people. Without his toughness, the way he set up the game, he was a true floor general today. So Kyle Lowry, not only that you're going to get a round of applause, we'll give him a round of applause, but you're going to get an Iron Man as well. Yes, you deserve that. Toughness at its finest. Now that's just Miami. That's why he fits in well. We're grit and grind. We can play fast, we can play slow, we can bog it down, we can set up half court. We just got, interchangeable pieces that can just go in there and just fit, rotate. We got power forwards that can guard point guards. It can go either way with us. We can switch everything. And Bam is real big on that. That's why I say a lot of things that Bam does. I understand that too. That won't show up on the stat sheet. I understand that. It's kind of like Kyle Lowry. But it's big. It's real big. You can get points out of guys like Bam and Kyle Lowry. It just magnifies everything. It almost guarantees a blowout when they got it rolling on the offensive end with all the other things they do on the floor. So yeah, 4 guys in double figures. We didn't do it pretty. We didn't do it all the way ugly. We did it just enough to get the win. Like I said, Miami was just like a dog or a wolf in the woods, just looking, just waiting for their opportunity. And that's what they did with the Knicks tonight. Keep saying tonight. I mean the afternoon. So we're gonna go down and check out the Knicks. And just remember, they didn't have Julius Randle today. So did that hurt a little bit? I don't know. Because Toppin came in there and played with a lot of energy. And he hit some threes and he got some dunks. Now, I know Julius can do the same thing, but I don't know if Julius... I mean, they might have canceled each other out. Who's to say? But we're going to see. I hope Julius gets back. I don't want nobody missing in a playoff series, whether it's our guys or their guys. We don't want no excuses. We want everybody full force. That's what they work hard for. So they need to be out there on the floor. You don't wish injury or don't want somebody to be out for an extended time when you're fighting for a championship. Guys make too much money. They work too hard to be sitting out. But we'll go to R.J. Barrett. 26 points by him. 9 rebounds. 7 assists. 10 for 20 from the field. That's a R.J. Barrett night. He started off a little slow himself, but, he worked himself into the game. And there you go. So that was wonderful by him. He had 4 turnovers. That don't look too good. But he filled up the stat sheet. So without no Julius Randle, him out there trying to muster it up, get what he can out of it, we can give him a round of applause. He done his job. I'm pretty sure he'll tell you he rather, had shot it better from the field. But he done his job. Obi Toppin, 18 points. In Julius Randle's absence, the guy pulled down 8 rebounds with 18 points. 4 for 11 from the 3-point line. 7 for 15 from the field. Obi Toppin. You could have got that from Julius if you look at it. So they didn't miss too much. They didn't miss too much at all. And let's just see if Julius would have scored 25-30, then that probably meant that R.J. Barrett would have scored 26. You see what I'm saying? Jalen Brunson he didn't have to score his 25 and what he did. But, Obi Toppin, we'll give you a round of applause as well. You done your job, sir. You done your job. And while we was talking about Brunson, here we go with his 25 points. 7 assists. Look at him grabbing a little handful of rebounds. Gave him 5. Throw 2 blocks on top of that. So, oh man, I take that back. No, Brunson didn't have 2 blocks. That was Mitchell Robinson. My apologies. Now, he had 5 turnovers, Jalen Brunson. That just shows you how that defense was out there on both ends. Remember, this is a Heat and Knicks rivalry. It's going to be batter and bruise time. Grit and grind. Got to take care of that ball because you got Barrett with 4, and then here go Brunson with 5. Well, let's do Brunson again. He's got 25 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. Couldn't hit a 3. He was 0 for 7 from the 3-point line, 11 for 23 from the field. Without no Julius Randle, he done his job. He gets a round of applause. So you're thinking with all these guys that done their job, why they lose the ball game? Well, they lost the ball game because they were playing the Heat. The Heat that didn't give up. Like I say, their defense bogged them down in crucial moments when the game was on the line. When you start getting deep in that second half, they were paying close attention. I mean, they needed more players to contribute, the Knicks, if they wanted to pull this game out. I mean, Mitchell Robinson, he had 14 rebounds. He had 2 blocks. That's a guy who I thought, the stat sheet I was looking at for Brunson. But no, Mitchell Robinson, he's got 2 blocks. His highlight is his 14 rebounds. But they don't have nothing to do with scoring. Josh Hart, he came in, he filled up the stat sheet as well, but, he's got 10 points. He's got 8 rebounds. He couldn't hit a 3. He was 5 for 12 from the field. Just wasn't a lot of big 3-point shooting tonight for the Knicks. And I think that's what hurt them, when you really look at it. Because when that defense is tight, and if you can't swing it out to a wide open guy to knock down a 3, you're going to have some problems. Obi Toppin, he hit 4 threes. That's the only highlight, really, of the night if you want to look at it from the 3-point line. The only highlight that stands out, and that's coming from like your power forward center guy. So, yeah, there you have it. There you have it. And fortunate enough to pull it out. Like you say, you go on the road and you get you a split. You've done your job. You've done your job being on the road. Now, if you grab another one, then you're going to be like, okay, now we got our groove and we're going back home. Let's see what we can do now. Let's try not to give them any wins when we get back to Miami. But I don't think it'll be a quick series. I don't think no one will get swept. I'm not saying that. But we'll see how things turn out. See if Jimmy gets back right. Get Julius out there, see how they look. But it was just good to grab this first win. The Heat really had to battle for this one. They battled and they used their head. They got gritty. So, big win. Big win on a slouchy Sunday for the Heat. So we're going to go ahead and check out these Golden State Warriors and these Sacramento Kings. And the Warriors can hit anything for a while. Kings had opportunity really to open this thing up early. They just didn't relish that opportunity early in this game. Because really none of them were really hitting for a while. And then, you put up enough, you play enough, your superstar is going to eventually get it going. And that's what Curry did. He just eventually got it going. He beat the Kings single-handedly by himself.
Oh, that's not good.
Especially when you look at the stat sheet. Just unbelievable. We'll start off at the top. Andrew Wiggins, 17 points. It's almost all you can say about him. 17 points. 7 rebounds. He was 1 for 5 from the 3-point line. And he was 5 for 16 from the field. We already know that's an iron unkind. He was off, didn't do his job. They owe Curry dinner. They need to tuck him into his bed. They need to get him a shot of NyQuil or Pepto-Bismol because his stomach probably was upset when he saw y'all come out there with the type of game y'all came out there with. You got the fluffiest pillows. Wiggins, this is game 7. Next guy in double digits is Kevon Looney. That guy played his ass off. You want to talk about hustle? You want to talk about going out there wanting to get it? You think he showed up for game 7? Yes, he did. The way Looney knows how to play, he brought it all today. 11 points. 20 1 rebounds. 10 of them was offensive. You want to talk about hustle. He was 4 for 5 from the field. But this is just all hustle here. And I would give him a round of applause, but I think he deserves an Iron Man. Great hustle. That's for all the big men out there that just go out there gritting, grinding, don't get the ball that much, but you out there hustling, knocking people around, working hard for the ball, whether it's coming off the rim or it's on the floor. That's what Looney represents. Big ups to him in that game. Another guy who didn't show up, Klay Thompson. 16 points. 5 rebounds. 2 for 10 from the three-point line, 4 for 19 from the field. Thank God for Curry. I know that's what they're saying. Thank God for Curry. Game 7. That's it. I mean, for as double figures, I mean, until we get to the superstar, really the MVP of that game, Stephen Curry. But other than that, everybody else is in teams. I don't mean like everybody else. I mean the other 3 guys are in teams, but everybody else is singled out. You have iron unkinds all over the place. But let's get to Steph Curry. Drops the 50 piece. He drops the 50 piece. 8 rebounds and 6 assists to go with it. 7 for 18 from the three-point line. Boy, he was putting them up. That's why I say he wasn't going to allow them to lose. He was putting them up. 20 for 38 from the field. Like I said before, this is what I'm talking about from a superstar. Game 7. Even when he started off not too hot, he worked his way into it. 20 for 38. How many players do you know, even going through the regular season, and you count playoffs too, that you see that on a regular basis? 38 attempts. Close to 40. You don't see it too often. That's emptying out your gun. Going to sleep at night knowing you did all you can do. And let's just say he didn't shoot well from the field. He shot wonderfully from the field. But if he didn't, you can't be mad at that 38. Man went out there and tried. He was trying to wheel his team to a victory. 7 for 18 from the three-point line. Stephen Curry, folks. He showed you why he ain't ready to end it yet. He's not washed up. He's got some years left. And like I say, no knock to the Kings. I mean, they just ran to a veteran ball club that's been there too many times before. Could the Kings snuck them and got them? Yeah. That it came in and stayed steady for a long period of time throughout this game. Yeah, it might have could have bounced the other way. But, you know, De'Aaron Fox, he didn't have the type of game that he usually have, that he's been having in this series. And once he takes a step back, then you're going to have a lot of problems on your hands, because he has to have a big, big game for them to even take care of these Warriors. Because if he don't have a big game, that means it must be coming from all, you know, across the board with, you know, other end of people. It's the only way. But yeah, he dropped the 50 piece. Then you go down here to these Kings. They actually had 5 people in double figures. We'll start with Keegan Murray. He came out there, got 10 points. You know, 7 rebounds. 5 of 10 from the field. He came in and did a few things early. Probably should have stayed steady, but like I said, he's a young guy. You're not going to expect too much from him, but what he did in the Game 7 in the playoffs, I think it needs to be rewarded. He'll get a round of applause for that, being serviceable. You know, not going out there like a deer caught in headlights, going out there and competing and playing. He did that. So yeah, round of applause for sure. Domantas Sabonis. He finally had him a decent game or a good game. We're just a little hard on him because he misses a lot of layups throughout this series. He's let Draymond Green kind of bully him around throughout this series. He kind of came ready tonight, like he wasn't going to take no crap, and he played well. But what could have happened if he'd have been this aggressive throughout this series? 22 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists by him, 10 for 16 from the field. One of his better games. Too bad it came on a losing end, you know. But big numbers in fact. 22 points. He filled up the stat sheet. Throw 2 blocks in there. And De'Aaron Fox. This where it was lost, you can say. You know, everything counteracts the other. Now, you had Golden State on one hand that didn't shoot well, right? Steph Curry kind of won it on his own by himself, carried the whole team. Well, then you look on the flip side and you look at De'Aaron Fox, 16 points. We already know alone that's not going to cut it in no Game 7, especially as well as you've been playing throughout this series. 16 points, and then you have 6 assists, 3 for 10 from the three-point line, 5 for 19 from the field.
Oh, that's not good.
You can really just look at that alone. We can say the stat sheet can look good on both ends. But if you look at this De'Aaron Fox stat sheet, you can say, you kind of just throw your hands up and say, well, yeah, they lost. They almost deserved to lose. Their main guy, their so-called superstar in the making, he didn't show up. You know, they schemed him. They was a little more aggressive with him, but he wasn't aggressive. He didn't put up nearly enough shots that he should have put up, especially coming down the stretch and going into a losing effort. And like I say, my hat's off to De'Aaron Fox. He's going to be here for a long time. He already broke down some barriers just being here in the playoffs for the first time, playing in a Game 7. He had an unbelievable regular season. Love the guy. Hell of a talent. Cat quick. Yeah, we're in a good place with him throughout this league. He's going to make some way. He'll win a lot of accolades, rewards. He'll be in the playoffs for many years to come. Probably even get him a chip before it's all over with. Maybe a couple, maybe a few. So there's no knock on him. You know, he's still wet behind the ears, still learning it on the fly. But I'm just saying, when you look at this stat sheet and what they're needing from him, you can see why they lost this game. Next guy up is Malik Monk. I know De'Aaron Fox, I ain't forgot about you. I ain't gonna let you get off that easy. You get an iron unkind. You definitely get an iron unkind. Now back to you, Malik Monk. And he usually plays better himself. So we can talk about Golden State Warriors and who didn't show up all we want. But let's not act like the Sacramento Kings and have guys that didn't show up themselves. The only difference is their superstar didn't go for 50 and carry the team. The other team did. So that tells it all there. So 14 points by Malik Monk, 9 rebounds, 2 for 8 from the three-point line, either 4 for 14 from the field. So yeah, he was just a little mirror of himself. He didn't get it rolling like he's done in the previous games early on. So, I mean, when you look at the stat sheet, like I say, the box score tells it all. You can understand a lot more when you look at the box sheet. You just want to see where things were placed, who did what, who was active, who implemented themselves in this ball game, who was trying to hide. Stat sheet is not going to lie to you. I mean, you can watch the game, you can see for yourself, but you might miss a few players, and then you go back and look at it and you say, well, of course this happened. Look at his production. Look at his production. And it tells all. Now, Terrence Davis wasn't expected to come out and have a big game. 14 points. Mirrored what, Monk had, 14. But he comes in. I'm not going to call out his whole stat sheet. Yeah, he was on a board for a few things, but it's not a handful. It's nothing to put up and highlight. But he said 14 points, 4 for 10 from the three-point line. He came out, hot, 5 for 11 from the field. He done his job. Round of applause. You don't expect anything too much from that guy. So him coming out there, sparking the plug a little bit, they needed that because nobody else was giving it at that point. And that's it for the box score for them. They have 5 guys in double figures, but you see where they lost this. They'll go back, in the off season. They don't think about this. It's a hard lesson, man. When you're in this league, you're a young buck coming in, young team. You got to go through your lumps. When the last time you had a young team like this in the making just go all the way and win a championship? Usually doesn't happen in the NBA. It's not going to happen. You're going to get your lumps upside your head before you break that door down. But they're coming. They got a lot of young talent. I like this team, actually. I like the makeup of it. They're going to be in there. They're fun to watch, too. A lot of excitement. They bringing that Sacramento little field back again. Back, Weber, Doug Christie, and all those guys was there. And Bibby, Turgaloo, Vlade Divac, all of those guys. Bobby Jackson. He's starting to get that feel back again. And that crowd, man, I almost forgot after all these years how great that crowd is. Do you see how these people get up? Do you see how much noise is in that arena? These people engaged. Last time I seen that is when Chris Webber was playing there. I forgot how amazing that crowd can get. I mean, it's just crazy. It's like a college atmosphere. I mean, the noise, the waving of the white towels, everything. It's an experience when those fans get into it. That is a 6-man indeed. They can rally you to a victory. That's how powerful they are. Amazing to watch. Amazing to watch. Hate to see them go in the playoffs. Because that's one city right there in the arena. Oh, man. The atmosphere is off the charts. Tip your hat to them. You don't see that throughout the league too often. They definitely have to be number 1 on the charts for that fan base inside of that place. Oh, goodness. So, yeah, we'll tip our hat to the Sacramento Kings. Y'all go back to the lab, work hard, come back, build up each year. Y'all have nothing to be ashamed about because y'all learning lessons right now. A lot of young talent's going to be together for a long time. So y'all don't have nothing to worry about. So that's the stat sheet. I'm not going to keep it too long. This is a quick hit. Matter of fact, if y'all didn't know that. So we don't do 2-3 hours over here. We just get in what we got to get in and show what we got to show. And we keep it moving. But, yeah, we got what? Philadelphia. they're going to start off. I think Joel Embiid is a little banged up. So that'll be a little interesting. That Celtics and Sixers series is going to be something special too. It's starting to narrow down now. These teams now they're starting to smell it. They want to advance and keep advancing. So you finna get some high quality basketball, man. I mean, grinding, squeezing, scraping, everything that you can get out of 94 feet of hustle basketball. I just hope that he can be on top as well when it's all said and done. They deserve it just as anybody else. Now, we might don't have the big brand superstar, like the teams that are left. But we work hard. We got a built-in engine. And we don't need nobody to plug it up for us. It's just on idle. It's just running. So, unless y'all can wait that motor out to where it just plays itself out, maybe so. But you don't have to plug it in. So the heat's gonna be there. Whatever the Heat does, it's not really a disappointment. When they lose, it's like we done all we could do. They leave it out on the floor. The best team actually really won when you beat the Heat. So, like I said, I'm not expecting to win a championship. I'll be shocked. I'll be excited. Because first of all, we got Tyler Hero out. We do play as a team. It's a tough grind. Jimmy Butler, he's just going to wear down as we get a little deeper. We even got teams that we're going against that are deeper than us. So it'll be almost, I don't want to say like a miracle. It can be done, but it's a lot of strain. It's just other teams that are deeper and better. You got, multiple superstars. We're not going to make no excuses. We're going to go out there and do what they do and see where the chips may fall. But hope everybody enjoying their slouchy Sunday. Busy week coming up on Monday. Playoff time, what we all like. And is there anything else? Oh yeah. Y'all do know I got 3 other channels as well too y'all can check out. Check out the at Warden17. You can check out at Gmo gaming channel. You can check out at Gmo Shorts. That's another one. You see them all right here. Just check them out. So yeah, y'all like what y'all see, just go ahead and check it out. Subscribe if you like anything. Hit the like button, just the usual stuff. And until next time, or till next broadcast, quick hitters, Goodymo Sports Quick Hits. And we out of here. Peace.